feel like doing my usual intro today. Why don't I feel like it, you guys are probably asking? Well, this was probably one of the weakest shows in the Triple H era. Now, I've gone on record to say many times, I'm not biased, I don't show favoritism. Those are the two big things. I've seen people all over social media try to claim that Vince McMahon or Bruce Pritchard all of a sudden must have came back and booked this show, which was why it was terrible. Guys, please. I know there are a lot of people that love Triple H and happy he's in charge, but can we please not make excuses for why Triple H actually had a bad show? Can we just say Triple H booked a bad show instead of just pretending Triple H or Vince McMahon or Bruce Pritchard randomly showed up tonight and pushed Triple H aside and said, "Let us run Raw tonight." We know Vince is gone. I'm tired of listening to the excuses for why these shows are bad. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear these lame excuses. Triple H booked a bad show. Let's just admit it, please. Triple H isn't perfect, and we know that. We know that. We all should know that. There's no such thing as a perfect person. Nobody is perfect, and we know this. So the show began with Dominic bragging about his victory over AJ Styles. Dominic started claiming he's the next generation's Eddie Guerrero. To be fair, he is the real father. He is the real son of Eddie Guerrero. But I saw on social media a lot of the Mexican wrestlers like Santos Escobar and Angel Garza laughed at him and thought it was a joke. AJ Styles compared Dominic Mysterio to James Ellsworth, which don't know why we had to hear that man's name mentioned again, but we did. So following this, you know, I hear a lot of people say that Dominic Mysterio isn't very good on the mic, and you know, I can agree to a certain degree. But if there's one thing that we cannot deny is that the Judgment Day get the heel heat. They get the heat. They get the heel heat. They get the crowd to boo. And I don't normally like to talk about the crowds or how I feel about the crowds tonight, but my God, this crowd was absolutely terrible. Outside of this segment with the Judgment Day, the crowd didn't really react all that much, and we'll go deeper into this as we go on. So then we get Finn Balor versus Carl Anderson. Rhea Ripley pretty much stole the show here. She gave Big Luke Gallows a goddamn body slam. A freaking body slam. That was freaking impressive for Rhea Ripley, and I loved it. And then Rhea Ripley also low-blowed Carl right in his Andersons to pretty much help Finn Balor defeat him. And so later on in the show, AJ Styles is now realizing the one particular thing that I think everybody's realized, that Rhea Ripley is the biggest issue with the Judgment Day. No shit, AJ! No shit, AJ, I'm glad you finally figured it out. So now it sounds like they're teasing to get a woman to join the OC. I personally would like it to be Dana Brooke, or Nikki Cross, or Doudrop, but it will probably be a returning female superstar, more likely, or an NXT caller. If there's one thing I didn't like tonight, is that we got too much Johnny Gargano. I didn't like that. But this is the Triple H Monday Night Raw, so it shouldn't surprise anybody that we got too much of Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano tried to be funny by cracking jokes on The Miz. I didn't find them funny, personally. So, and also, isn't it ironic? I just want to mention this as well in this very same segment. I find it very funny how fans, for the last few weeks, have been complaining how we don't see R-Truth on the shows. I've seen a lot of people talk about how, why is there no R-Truth? Why are we not seeing R-Truth on our TVs? Like, people were complaining about how R-Truth has not been on the shows, and what a coincidence, R-Truth is on Raw today. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Fans complain about R-Truth not being on, and all of a sudden R-Truth is on the show. I find that very coincidental. It's not a coincidental. At all. Not a coincidence at all. But they were in Charlotte, North Carolina. Because R-Truth is from there, I guess. But, so is Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair, but they didn't come back. Oh well. Well, I don't want to see Ric Flair back. I'm more Miss Charlotte Flair. Anyway, so Johnny apparently knows a secret on why Dexter Lumis is attacking The Miz. Then just say it! Then just reveal it, Johnny! Why does The Miz have to reveal it? The Miz doesn't know! This is the thing that I do not like about this storyline. Johnny knows something, and Miz doesn't. Miz doesn't know what Johnny means. If Johnny knows why Dexter is attacking The Miz, why doesn't Johnny say, right, Miz, Dexter is targeting you because of reason A? Why doesn't Johnny just say it? Instead of just saying, no, you tell everybody. You tell everybody why Dexter's attacking you. The Miz doesn't know why Dexter's attacking him. That's the worst part about this storyline. You're involving Johnny Gargano in something that is really not his business. This is not between him. You're just involving him for whatever reason. You're just involving him into this story for whatever reason. But people will like to tell me, oh well, Johnny is looking after his son-in-law. Are you guys still playing up that? Are you guys still pretending the way is a thing?
I've got someone coming out, I think.
Are you guys still pretending the way is a thing? Sorry about that, my brother came in. Are you guys still pretending the way is a thing? Come on, the way is not a thing anymore. Sure, Dexter and Indy are still married, but still, this has nothing to do with Johnny. Nothing to do with him at all. They're just involving him in this storyline because of Johnny's history with Dexter. That's the only reason why. It has nothing to do with the whole thing with Index. And speaking of that, I think that's what the issue is. Speaking of that, I think that's the secret. I think the secret is Miz probably did something to Indy Hartwell. That's probably my guess. So Miz insults R-Truth, we get a match between the two of them. R-Truth ends up winning because Johnny Gargano dressed up as Dexter Lumis. Then we get Austin Theory taking on Mustafa Ali. Austin Theory wins the match. His first win in 50 days, apparently. And then Seth Rollins, it was all because of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins had then attacked Ali, and Ali retaliated. Oh boy, and then we get Omos squashing more jobbers. Honestly, I don't like this. I honestly don't like this. I think him beating up jobbers is starting to really get boring. Damage Control also beat the crap out of Candice LeRae, and then Johnny Gargano now starts showing concern for Candice, considering Candice has been beat up by Damage Control how often now? She's been attacked by Damage Control a couple of weeks now, and then all of a sudden, now Johnny cares. Elias made his return match, and he took on the Shoosh Man, Chad Gable. You know, I still love the shush please. I love their new shirt. I would like to get an Alpha Academy shirt. But the problem is, I really hate that he always loses. I hate that he always loses. Poor old Chad. And people thought Triple H was... And I remember a few weeks ago, people were saying Triple H loves Chad Gable. Yeah, he certainly loves him, alright. He loves having him lose. So now, shush please. Then we get Johnny Gargano facing Baron Corbin. See, this is what I'm saying, man. Too much Johnny Gargano on this show. Way too much Johnny Gargano. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of him anymore. I just do not care. And another thing I wanted to point out, as I mentioned at the start of the show, how I talked about how the crowd really didn't care. The crowd didn't care about most of the matches going forward. Fans didn't give a shit about this match. Johnny gets no reaction. Fans just literally did not give a shit about this show. And one other thing I didn't like was the commentary. I've given the commentary a couple of weeks. And I'm sorry, I miss Jimmy Smith. I miss Jimmy Smith. He was great. Kevin Patrick is just not doing it for me. He's not energetic. He's not excited. He just sounds so lifeless. And I get he's Irish. But Jesus, Wade Barrett's Pom, and even he can bloody commentate better. But man, it's just... Kevin Patrick just doesn't do it for me. They need to get Kevin Patrick off. Bring back Jimmy Smith, or put Byron Saxton back in that position. I just think Kevin just doesn't do anything for me. The duo of Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves doesn't do it for me. Baron Corbin got the win, which actually was very shocking to me, because I thought Triple H would want to protect his golden boy. Well, technically he did. Technically he did protect his golden boy. Technically his golden boy was protected, because he didn't lose clean. Johnny stole JBL's hat, he started dancing like a cowboy, and then JBL interfered which led to Baron Corbin defeating Johnny with the End of Days. Miz then gave Johnny a get well card for Candice. And then the main event was Bayley versus Bianca Belair. It was an alright main event, but fans just really didn't care. And what was even worse, that the crowd didn't care that Nikki Cross literally interfered. See, this is what I'm saying. This whole show is that the crowd just didn't care. Throughout this whole show, it just felt like the crowd just really didn't give a shit. The Judgment Day and the OC set the standards, and then the show just fell down. That was bad here. Bayley ended up getting the win due to Nikki Cross's interference. Yes, Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is back as Nikki Cross. She's not wearing the silly mask anymore. She's not Nikki ASH anymore. She's now Nikki Cross. And I don't know if she's a face or a heel, because she took out Damage Control and a referee, then she cost Bianca Belair the match, and then she attacked Bayley afterwards. So I don't know if she's a face or if she's a heel. She must be a tweener. But either way, that was Monday Night Raw. Pretty bad show, I'm gonna be honest. One of Triple H's bad shows. And I'm not gonna lie and pretend that Vince McMahon ran it. No, Triple H had a bad night. This wasn't a good night for Triple H in the Triple H regime, in my opinion. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. Give me your thoughts down below. And I'll see you all next time.